Hey, spicy ladies. Silence isn't empty. It's like totally full of the answers they already figured out. Seriously, most people so misunderstand Sigma females. They're not being cold, rude, or standoffish. They're just done pretending, done entertaining people who drain their vibe, done responding out of politeness when their gut screams to pull away. The harsh truth, when a Sigma female ignores someone, it's not some mood swing or dramatic act. It's a decision rooted in major self-respect. Sigma females move differently. They don't need an audience or applause. They've seen what happens when you keep giving to people who only show up when it's convenient. That's why they pull back. That's why their silence is literally louder than most people's words. It's not bitterness. It's total clarity. And if you're a Sigma female, here's the real deal. Your silence has value. It speaks for you. You've learned that not everyone deserves access to your mind, your time, or your presence. You felt the weight of conversations going nowhere and people who only half listened. Now you protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing distance. Some people weren't meant to understand you. They were meant to reveal themselves, and they totally did. Keep your standards sky high. Keep trusting your gut. And remember this, the power in your silence, it comes from the serious wisdom it took to earn it. Let's get started. Number 1, they're not avoiding you. They're escaping noise. Okay, so most people totally don't get this. When a Sigma female pulls back, goes quiet, or straight up ignores someone, the average person takes it personally. But the truth is, it's so rarely about you. It's about everything that feels fake, forced, and draining. Sigma females have zero tolerance for conversations lacking substance or people who speak just to be heard. Their silence isn't rejection, it's a total reset. They live in a world that never shuts up. Everyone's performing, everyone's on. Social media, fake friendships, loud opinions, constant updates. For a Sigma woman, that constant hum feels like major mental clutter. And when things get too loud, she doesn't raise her voice to compete. She disappears quietly, cleanly, no warning. Not to be rude, but to breathe. She's the kind of woman who can feel exhausted after a 5-minute convo if it's full of empty words. She's not impressed by small talk or surface stuff. She wants truth, depth, stillness, and when that's missing, she chooses distance over politeness. That distance is her armor. It's her way of saying, I've heard enough. See, Sigma females have trained themselves to preserve their peace. They've lived through fake smiles, shallow flattery, and people who only show up when it benefits them. Now, they keep their energy sacred. If a person or space feels heavy or chaotic, she'll exit quietly. No drama, no warning, just silence. And here's what makes her different. She doesn't need to explain that silence. She knows its worth. It's her boundary, her clarity, and her healing all in one. So next time a Sigma female goes quiet, don't rush to fill the silence. Pay attention to what made her leave it there. She's not avoiding you. She's choosing peace over performance. And that choice speaks louder than anything she could ever say. Right now, if you're still watching, I so hope this helps. Your comments totally motivate me, like majorly, so I can make more videos you're into. Hit that subscribe button and leave me a message. Let's keep going. Number 2, they don't chase energy. They filter it. This is where people so get it wrong. A Sigma female isn't cold. She's cautious. She doesn't just let anyone in because not everyone deserves front row seats. She's learned the hard way that some people come with strings attached, emotional price tags, and energy that feels heavy before they speak. So now she filters quietly, sharply, no guilt. She pays attention to how people feel when they enter her space, not what they say, but the energy behind it. calm, honest, or performative, needy, chaotic, if it's less than real, she steps back. Not from fear, not to be distant, but because she knows the cost of keeping wrong energy around. She doesn't fight for attention, doesn't force connections. If it flows, it flows. If it feels off, she cuts it off. She won't explain, doesn't need to. Her peace matters way more than anyone's confusion. And the best part? She can love people deeply and still choose to love herself more. If you drain her, if your presence feels like a job, she won't debate, won't start a fight. She'll just stop showing up emotionally, physically, silently, because she knows not every room is meant for her. Not every connection deserves her energy. She does not chase. She does not beg. She observes. She filters. She walks away when it costs too much to stay. That's the Sigma power. She doesn't need crowds to feel whole. She's already full. So if you feel her pull away, understand this. She didn't leave wanting less. She left because you offered less than what she no longer accepts. Number 3, they've learned that not everyone deserves closure. Sigma females don't hand out emotional explanations like candy. They've realized something most haven't. Some goodbyes don't need words. Some exits speak for themselves. If someone disrespected boundaries, played games, or treated their presence like it was optional, that person doesn't get a front row seat to their final words. They get silence, full stop. This isn't pettiness. It's protecting what took years to rebuild. A Sigma female has gathered herself from pieces more than once. She's learned peace isn't found, it's created. And once created, you guard it like the last clean air. So when someone disrupts that peace, they don't get a second chance to explain. They get distance. She doesn't owe closure to people who knew better but did worse. If someone couldn't value her when they had access, why spell it out when she walks away? Silence becomes her boundary, her final word, her cleanest goodbye. It's not pride, it's total clarity, because giving closure to line crossers is like giving permission to do it again. Sigma females would so rather be misunderstood than reopen doors going nowhere. They don't have energy to re-explain the obvious. They're not here to fix people. They're here to protect their peace. That's what makes them different. They don't chase apologies. Don't beg for understanding. If you hurt them and they go quiet, consider that your answer. They aren't disappearing to be dramatic. They're disappearing because staying would cost them way too much. So if you're cut off without a convo, remember you weren't forgotten. You were filtered out. The silence isn't emptiness. It's a boundary you crossed. Number 4, they don't ignore to punish. They ignore to protect. Okay, so most people totally misunderstand this. When a Sigma female goes quiet, it's not passive-aggressive or a cry for attention. It's strategy. It's protection. It's her stopping chaos before it grows teeth. She knows emotional drama. She's lived it, recognizes the early signs, the tension, the bait, the raised tones disguised as concern. So she acts fast, cuts the cord before it tangles. What many see as silence is her shield. She refuses energy to circular arguments or people who only feel alive in mess. If you thrive on conflict, she becomes unavailable emotionally, mentally, physically. She won't wrestle with someone needing chaos to feel close. That's not love to her, that's war. And she's done playing soldier. Sigma females don't enjoy ignoring. That silence isn't cruelty, it's experience. She's learned not everyone wants resolution. Some just want reaction. Some just want to be right. Instead of feeding that, she chooses silence. Not from weakness, but because she has nothing to prove. She knows ego-laced arguments lead nowhere. She knows loud people miss the point, so she leaves quietly before the storm hits. Her energy isn't up for debate. Her peace isn't a bargaining chip. So if a Sigma female stops engaging, Don't assume she's punishing you. Understand this. She's protecting herself from a version of you that can't handle her calm. And sometimes, the most powerful thing a woman can do is say nothing at all. Number 5, your words matter less than your energy. You can rehearse the perfect sentence, say all the right things, wear the right expression, but if your energy is off, a Sigma female will feel it like static. She doesn't just listen with ears. She listens with her gut, her nervous system, the instincts she trusts way more than performances. Sigma females are wired differently. They don't respond to charm or perfect phrases. They respond to truth, to presence, to your words matching your vibe. If there's a gap, she'll sense it before your second sentence. And once she feels that mismatch, she pulls away. Not from suspicion, but because her intuition gave her the full picture. She's not looking for the perfect talker. She's looking for someone whose energy doesn't lie, whose vibe doesn't shift with the audience. The moment she feels forced friendliness, fake empathy, or hidden tension, her interest vanishes. She doesn't need an explanation. She got the message without words. This is why you can't manipulate her with charm. She doesn't operate on what's said. She operates on what's felt. If your emotional frequency feels dishonest, aggressive, or heavy, she won't confront you. She'll tune out quietly, no scene. Sigma females are literally allergic to emotional dissonance. They don't argue with words. They don't need to. They just listen to what your energy says behind the mask. That tells the truth. So if a Sigma female seems distant, ask yourself, did your words match your presence? With her, your energy is the conversation. Spicy ladies, thanks for still watching. If you feel this, leave a spicy lady +1 comment below. That's my motivation. Let's continue. 6. Their standards are internal, not external. You could have the resume, looks, charm, a crowd, and it still wouldn't matter to a Sigma female if your soul feels messy. She's not impressed by surface stuff. Doesn't care how many people like you. She's not measuring by usual standards because hers are built deep inside. You see, Sigma females don't chase aesthetics. They chase alignment, emotional clarity, consistency. If you're polished outside but chaotic inside, she'll sense it and log you as noise. Not an enemy, just irrelevant. She won't bother with small talk. She'll disconnect, no fanfare. She doesn't ignore to be harsh. She ignores because she filters energy with total precision. If your presence feels fake, scattered, unstable, her intuition picks it up instantly. Not about being mean, it's self-respect. She's met enough well-dressed messes and charming manipulators to know external appeal means nothing if your core feels hollow. This confuses people. They think status, power, or looks will win her. But a Sigma female is only moved by depth, authenticity, that stillness in someone who knows who they are without performing. If she can't feel you, not your brand, your persona, but you, she'll move on fast. She doesn't need your story perfect. She needs it real. She can handle flaws, what she won't entertain. Fake confidence, borrowed personality, emptiness hidden behind applause. That energy doesn't pass her internal test, so if she seems uninterested, it's not rejection, it's clarity. Your packaging might be impressive, but if your soul is cluttered, you're just background noise. And that's a language she stopped listening to long ago. 7. They read between your words, and it's usually disappointing. A Sigma female isn't just hearing your words. She's watching your eyes shift, your tone tighten, your energy flicker when uncomfortable. She doesn't need 20 questions. Your body gave her the answers. Most people don't realize how much they reveal. They think they're playing it cool, being vague. But to a Sigma female, those tiny voice shifts, that pause before a lie, how you dodge a topic, it all registers. She doesn't call it out, doesn't argue, takes mental notes. When the emotional math stops adding up, she subtracts herself. She's not hunting flaws. She just tunes into subtext, the message under the message. And what she usually finds: noise, contradiction, performance, control tactics disguised as kindness. That drains her. Not your words, but the weight of what they're hiding. She doesn't expect perfection. She just wants truth. Not rehearsed vulnerability. Not half-truths layered in charm. Real truth. When she realizes she's being handled, not heard, she detaches silently, cleanly. No announcements. She leaves when conversation becomes performance, when your energy stops matching your message. When she sees you want her attention, not her understanding. So if you think she disappeared for no reason, think again. You probably told her exactly who you were, not with words, but with everything between them. Once she saw it clearly, she left, not in anger, in clarity. Because truth matters more to her than presentation every single time. 8. They operate on instinct, not obligation. This is where Sigma females are radically different. Most stay connected from habit, guilt, duty to history. Not them. A Sigma female could know you 10 years and let you go in 10 seconds if her gut says something's off. To her, loyalty is earned now. It's not a lifetime pass because you shared memories. She doesn't cling to people just because they were there before. Time doesn't equal trust. Proximity doesn't equal purpose. She refuses to let the past hold her hostage. What guides her? Instinct. Raw, sharp, often uncomfortable instinct. If her body tenses when you speak, if your energy feels heavy, she doesn't explain it away. She listens, honors it, acts quietly, quickly, no permission needed. That's her rarity. She doesn't need a scandal to walk away, doesn't need proof or betrayal. Her intuition is evidence enough. If her inner radar flashes red, the relationship is over in her mind. Even if the world hasn't caught up, don't expect warning. She won't argue, beg, or give you a breakdown. She disappears. Because her loyalty isn't to people. It's to truth, peace, that deep internal alignment telling her when something no longer fits. This is why people are stunned when she walks. They think everything was fine, but they missed her silence, her subtle withdrawal, the moment her instinct whispered, "This isn't it." Once she hears that, it's too late. The cord is cut, not from anger, from non-negotiable clarity. 9. They are allergic to guilt trips. If there's one thing that makes a Sigma female vanish for good, emotional blackmail. The second someone tries to twist her emotions, throw past kindness in her face, or guilt her for choosing herself, she shuts down completely. Not just ignores, she's repelled. Sigma females don't respond to manipulation dressed as concern. They see the subtle digs, backhanded compliments, the "after all I've done" speeches. Instead of diving into drama, they go quiet. Not because they don't feel, but because arguing with guilt trippers is like holding smoke, not worth the energy. See, a Sigma female doesn't decide impulsively. If she walked away, it came after observation, self-reflection, a quiet process most never see. So when someone tries to reverse that with guilt, it insults her intelligence. Worse, it insults her peace. She built her life on emotional clarity. Guilt tripping throws chaos in. It's not just manipulative, it's disrespectful. It assumes her boundaries are flexible. They're not. She knows emotional blackmail. The fake tears, the timing, the words meant to trigger obligation. She's seen it. While it worked on a younger her, the woman she is now doesn't bend. She exits. And when she does, no second chances, no explanations, no justifying her peace to those who disrespected it. Just distance. Unapologetic, permanent, because for a Sigma female, guilt isn't love. It's a trap. And she's so not falling for it. 10. They don't ignore to win, they ignore to not play. A Sigma female doesn't see life as competition. She's not ignoring to get a reaction or prove a point. She's not playing silent games hoping you'll chase. The whole concept of manipulation and power plays feels so beneath her. It drains her spirit. She refuses to participate. When she ignores, it's not an act of war. It's a quiet exit from something exhausting, pointless, or emotionally hollow. She doesn't need to outsmart you. She just doesn't want to be around fake, calculated, or too much work for little meaning stuff. Drama lovers misunderstand her silence. They think she's cold, stubborn, strategic. Truth, she's just not interested in games where someone loses for another to win. She's not wired that way. If it doesn't feel real, if it doesn't feed her peace, she opts out, not to make a statement, to protect her energy, because when everything turns into a game, who cares more, who texts first, who apologizes last? The emotional cost is too high. She won't spend her peace keeping up with people who confuse love with control or attention with validation. She leaves the game not defeated, but because she was never playing. Her silence isn't strategy, it's clarity. If you thought ignoring was about power, you missed it. She's not trying to win, she's trying to stay free, and for her, that's always the higher move. 11. They've outgrown emotional babysitting. Sigma females are deeply intuitive, often the first to sense emotional spirals. In the past, they might have tried to help, listened, stayed up talking people down, gave second, third, fourth chances. But something shifted, not from lack of caring, but realizing the cost of carrying others' chaos. They learned the hard way. Some people don't want healing. They want attention, a permanent emotional crutch, someone to clean their mess every time they break. Sigma females, they've retired from that job. If your life's a nonstop emergency, your mood swings wildly, or you expect others to hold space while you do nothing to grow, she'll clock that fast. And she won't argue, lecture, or confront. She'll just quietly stop showing up. See? Sigma females love deeply, but not blindly. They are not emotional dumpsters for people refusing responsibility. They spent too many years absorbing others' chaos, thinking it was kindness. Now they see it, emotional dependency dressed as connection. She doesn't hate you, isn't mad. She's tired. Tired of giving energy to drainers. Tired of explaining truths to those who never listen. Tired of rescuing people walking back into the fire. So yes, she may leave you on the scene forever. Not from cruelty, but because she finally understands peace isn't found fixing others. It's found protecting yourself from those refusing to fix themselves. Once she reaches that place, there's no going back. Sometimes silence isn't absence, it's protection. Here's the truth most miss. Sigma females don't ignore to hurt. They ignore to stay whole. The silence, distance, quiet exits, they come from deep understanding of their limits. They know when energy feels wrong, motives don't sit right, conversations become ego over connection. They aren't here to explain themselves repeatedly to people who only listen to reply. They aren't wasting emotional bandwidth on relationships making them feel smaller. This isn't pride, revenge, or attention seeking. It's peace, clarity, choosing not to carry what was never theirs. And for those who resonate, for women called distant, cold, too much in their head, know this. Your instincts aren't flaws, your silence isn't weakness, your boundaries aren't cruelty. You're a Sigma female because you learned your energy is sacred, and not everyone deserves access. This world will guilt you for distance, ask you to soften where you nearly broke. But how you protect your spirit It's not wrong. It's wisdom shaped by experience. You don't owe closeness to those misunderstanding your calm. Don't owe presence to people showing up halfway. Most importantly, you don't need to explain why your silence is sometimes the loudest form of self-respect. If this is you, trust it, own it. Never apologize for being the woman who decided her piece matters more than being understood by the wrong people. That's not cold, that's powerful, that's spicy lady Sigma. Thanks for hanging with the spicy ladies. God bless.